Your imagination, your creativity, and your dedication, that all of you will be able to reach for the stars and achieve your dreams too.
The event kicked off a 3-day educator conference called Earth Then, Earth Now, Our Changing Climate, which focused on understanding climate change in the 25 years since RIDE's historic shuttle flight and what changes are predicted over the next 25 years. The conference was sponsored by NASA, Sally Ride Science, NOAA, the National Science Teachers Association, and the Department of Energy. In August, Hubble makes history again. A Constellation Program shoot test proved successful. A new NASA online feature debuts. Remembering Guy Bluford's barrier-breaking mission. And Spitzer turns 5. The Hubble Space Telescope has another achievement. In more than 18 years of service, the NASA Space Observatory has now made more than 100,000 orbits of Earth. And this was the image captured by Hubble on that milestone orbit, the nebula NGC 2074, a star-birthing region 170,000 light-years away in the Large Magellanic Cloud.
It's a testament to how well the Hubble was built and how productive it's built. So even today, after 18 years of observing, it's still producing world-class, world-beating results that people are queuing up and waiting for.
Story update. NASA's Hubble Space Telescope has taken the first visible light snapshot of a planet circling another star. Estimated to be no more than 3 times Jupiter's mass, the planet, called Fomalhaut b, orbits the bright southern star Fomalhaut, located 25 light-years away in the constellation Piscis Australis, the southern fish.
Most of the observations out there right now are what we call indirect detections. Either the planets are found through spectroscopic observations that reveal a wobble, or they're found as they transit across the face of their parent star, and you see a small dip in the light coming from them. This particular observation, we actually have, essentially the smoking gun, a real image of a planet.
Scientists had been hunting for a planet circling Fomalhaut since the early 1980s, when an excess of dust was discovered around the star by NASA's Infrared Astronomy satellite. The STS-125 mission to service Hubble is scheduled for next May. The first parachute drop test for the Ares 1 rocket has been conducted successfully. The drogue chute, designed to slow the rapid descent of Ares' spent first-stage motor, did its job, helping bring its payload to the desert floor of the U.S. Army's Yuma Proving Ground in Arizona. The drogue parachute, a vital element of the Ares 1 deceleration system, will permit recovery and reuse of the first-stage motor that helps propel the rocket to space. The successful test is a key milestone for NASA's Constellation program that'll send explorers to the International Space Station, the Moon, and beyond. Want to learn more about NASA history?
Welcome to our celebration of NASA's 50th anniversary.
The NASA website has a new multimedia experience that takes visitors on an interactive tour of the agency's first 5 decades of exploration. It combines current and historic video with state-of-the-art computer animation for a virtual World's Fair of NASA history. Each decade has a pavilion that hosts exhibits chronicling those 10 years of challenges and achievements. Visitors get unique insight into NASA's 50 years of exploration and research, as well as a glimpse into the future.
It's the new millennium!
Let Automa, the robot, guide your journey through NASA history at www.nasa.gov. The unveiling of a new spectacular image captured by NASA's Spitzer Space Telescope helped the Griffith Observatory in Los Angeles celebrate the 5-year anniversary of the spacecraft's launch. The glitzy image is just the latest eye-opening new view of the universe seen by Spitzer in infrared light. The Spitzer mission's many accomplishments include imaging the farthest known galaxies, breakthroughs in understanding the lives of stars, and detecting light for the first time from exoplanets, or planets orbiting other stars. The activities at the observatory included lectures on astronomy, a Spitzer information booth, and a 140-foot-long Spitzer image of our own Milky Way galaxy. 25 years ago this week, on August 30th, 1983. Guy Bluford became the first African American in space as a crew member of STS-8.
We have ignition and we have liftoff.
The first shuttle mission to launch and land at night. STS-8 deployed an Indian satellite and conducted a variety of scientific and medical experiments and measurements. A native of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Bluford became a NASA astronaut in August 1979 and flew 3 more shuttle flights after his history-making mission.
All of them were exciting missions where we did very different things, but things for which I feel very proud.
In September, NASA celebrates its golden anniversary. Buckeye astronauts gather in Cleveland. Lancaster, California pays tribute to 3 NASA heroes. And a new book features NASA art. Honoring the past, envisioning the future was the theme of a gala in celebration of NASA's first 50 years. Some 2,000 guests attended the event at the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum's Udvar Hazy Center in Chantilly, Virginia. With the largest collection of aviation and space artifacts in the world as their backdrop, invitees heralded NASA's 5-decade-long commitment to scientific discovery, technological innovation, and space exploration.
One thing about that is very enjoyable about our 50th birthday, we're still young enough to be able to interact with those, not only our astronauts, but also our flight engineers, those on the ground who help bring it together. To be able to be mentored and taught by such people has been one of the greatest benefits that I've had.
NACA is to become part of a new agency, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration.
It was 50 years ago this week, on October 1st, 1958, that the National Aeronautics and Space Administration was established to steward America's space program and help humankind's understanding of the universe, our home planet, and ourselves.
As we pause to mark NASA's first 50 years of inspiration, innovation, and discovery, we see a world without borders from our vantage point in space, a world where the sky's the limit.
The event also featured a congratulatory message from Expedition 17 flight engineer Greg Shamatov aboard the International Space Station. The evening's entertainment included performances by music icon Quincy Jones, Frank Sinatra Jr., and the Space Philharmonic, conducted by Emile Decoux. 19 astronauts with Ohio roots participated in a NASA 50th anniversary gala held in Cleveland. The event highlighted the contributions of 27 astronauts born or now living in Ohio, including Neil Armstrong.
We did.
John Glenn.
And that gives you confidence you can really do this.
And Jim Lovell.
You either had to have the courage to continue or you were lost.
New York native astronaut Kevin Kriegel also attended. Kriegel was named an honorary Buckeye by the state's governor prior to piloting Discovery on the all-Ohio STS-70 in 1995. His crewmates were Commander Tom Hendricks and mission specialists Nancy Jane Curry, Don Thomas, and Mary Ellen Weber.
That's my only words of inspiration is keep your eyes and ears open. Look for the tiniest opportunity to try something new, to seek out new people, new events even like this, like today.
The city of Lancaster, California, paid special tribute to 3 former NASA astronauts. Sidewalk plaques honoring Eileen Collins, Michael Collins, and the late Gordon Cooper were unveiled on Lancaster's Aerospace Walk of Honor. Each plaque denoted highlights of the astronauts' careers, portions of which were spent at nearby Edwards Air Force Base.
Some of his most favorite stories and remembered times were of Edwards Air Force Base, and so I know that that always was a favorite memory, favorite times, good everything for him, and this would just be like coming back home again.
The careers of Cooper, Michael Collins, and Eileen Collins span NASA's human spaceflight program, from Mercury through Apollo and the Space Shuttle. Norman Rockwell, Annie Leibovitz, Robert Rauschenberg, just some of America's cultural icons commissioned by the NASA Art Program to interpret and document the experience of space exploration. When Administrator James E. Webb established the Art Program in 1962, He believed that artists, like astronauts, constantly probe the unknown and are uniquely equipped to interpret and document space exploration. James Dean was the NASA